I know, it's scary. There's a lot of information out there, much of it good, some bad, and a lot of it dangerous. Let's look at Vaccine 101 so you can make an educated decision. There are multiple types of vaccine, but how they work is generally the same once they are in the human body. They teach the body what to look for, and the body does the rest. There's no virus in the vaccine, and even though it may make you feel bad for a few hours, the vaccine can't make you sick. All vaccines use the same basic set of chemicals that most other vaccines do. Primarily, they use lipid or fat particles and synthetic or man-made strands of RNA. RNA is not the same as DNA. It's a natural nucleic acid found in every living thing on Earth, and RNA can't affect or change your DNA. In fact, these synthetic strands don't even stay in your body. They simply train your body how to fight off COVID, and then they dissolve and disappear. Once the vaccine goes into your body using those lipids, they carry instructions, much like identical puzzle pieces, which enter a limited number of cells in your body. Over the next couple of weeks, these pieces just hang out, and as your body begins seeing them as a foreign invader that shouldn't be there, it tells your immune system to attack. It teaches your cell to recognize the COVID spikes on those puzzle pieces, and this is how your body builds immunity. It happens because these antibodies lay in wait for a time when the actual COVID virus does enter your body, and then it attacks by remembering what it did last time. This prevents the virus from attaching and entering cells in your body, which is what makes you sick. They essentially bounce off the cells because they can't find a way in. If the virus has nothing to attach to, it can't enter the cell and it can't reproduce, which means it can't make you sick. The good news is that the medications and chemicals used to create most vaccines are the exact same ones that have been used in vaccines for decades. These same chemicals are found in many other things we put in our body, like vitamins, medications, even the saline that you get when you're in the hospital. In fact, these new vaccines contain far fewer chemicals than vaccines in the past. But the way they're designed is nearly the same as other vaccines we've used safely for nearly a century when we developed the polio vaccine. Those vaccines and the COVID vaccine have saved millions of lives. The reason we test these vaccines so much is because we want to make sure they work. Of course, they are tested for safety, but that safety testing is greatly reduced because we already know how these vaccines work in the body. Plus, when you have a worldwide pandemic like COVID, testing is much faster because so much of the population can be tested simply because so many people are being infected. That's allowed science to produce vaccines in a way that seems rushed, when in reality, included more testing on more people than any other vaccine in history. The actual chemicals in the vaccine leave your body almost immediately once they've done their job and delivered what your body needs to learn to fight the virus. If you get an mRNA vaccine, you get a second booster shot because it teaches your body to be 100% sure what to attack when it sees it. Long-term side effects are unheard of in these types of vaccines because everything in the vaccine is no longer in your body after only a couple of weeks. The best news is there's not a single case of mild side effects lasting more than a few days. And of the hundreds of millions of people vaccinated so far, less than 0.00003% had anything more than mild symptoms for a few hours. Compare that to actually having and dealing with being infected with COVID. Unvaccinated, you have a 78% chance of having serious symptoms and a 6.1% chance of being hospitalized. Even worse, you have a 1.1% chance of dying. When compared to other things you do every day, the COVID vaccine is one of the safest things you can do. There's far more of a chance you'll have very serious or even deadly complications from other things you didn't even think about compared to getting the vaccine. Antibiotics, ibuprofen, Tylenol, driving, eating out, or even walking down the sidewalk are far more deadly activities than getting a COVID vaccine. So the next time you get a social media post or a friend tells you about some new danger of the vaccines, call your doctor. They're likely to give you all the facts in an unbiased, truthful way. COVID is almost under control. We just need more people to get vaccines and save their own lives and protect others. Are you ready to get yours?